Alright, what up guys? Today's video, I'm gonna show the most broken cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. So, the first card I'm gonna go with Sangan. This card has this is the errata version, by the way. But this card has the effect that if it gets destroyed or like sent to the field from the graveyard, you add one monster from your deck with a 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. And then okay, this is the errata version, so it says, but you cannot activate cards or other effects of cards with that same name for the rest of this turn. You can only use this effective Sangan once per turn. So this is the errata version. The original version where like you can use Sangan as many times as you want, and there wasn't no the effect part with it. But this is one of the most broken cards in the game. It got eroded, so they made it weaker pretty much. But this card it's a pretty broken card. This is the first card I'm gonna go with the top broken cards of today's video. So Sangan would be that's pretty broken, and then next card I have is Dark Hole. This card pretty much they got banned and then it came back and then got banned again. I think it came back 2 times off the ban list, but pretty broken card though. This card states that you destroy all monsters on the field, even yours too. It's a pretty broken card. And then next up we have Heavy Storm. Okay, I'm gonna show you Heavy Storm. This card, what this card does is it destroys all cards on the field. I mean all spell and trappers on the field. So it's a small text. It's a simple effect. It destroys you and your opponent's spell cards on the field. You activate it. This card got banned back in the day, back in 2006, I believe, and then it came back and it never came back. Yeah, this card never came back actually. Yeah, actually, I'm not sure if it came back or not, but I think it was limited to one in one of the video games. But yeah, Heavy Storm. That card was not to be played back in the day because they didn't like that card. Konami didn't like that how they made the card, but when they were making the game, they didn't really know what they were doing. So Konami just made like broken cards, and like everybody just went with it. Okay, next card I have is Reasoning. This card is it's a great card actually. This card states that your opponent, if your opponent declares a monster, okay, first you activate it, right, and then your opponent declares a monster level, and you reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal a monster level that can be normal summoned. If that monster is the same level as the one declared by your opponent, send all revealed cards to the graveyard. If not, spell summon the revealed monster. Also send the remaining cards to the graveyard. So then this card is so you pretty much get a spell summon, like a free spell summon if your opponent calls the wrong level. And then so you just throw cards up to your graveyard from your deck until you pull a monster card and you spell summon it. But it has to be the correct level though. And then yeah, it has to be the correct level. So yeah. That Reasoning is pretty broken. That's limited to one back in the day. And then okay, this card is this card is pretty broken. Super Poly is a pretty broken card. I think it got banned. Yeah, it's banned I think currently. So this card states that you discard one card from either side of the field to the graveyard. The fusing material monster that are listed on a fusing monster card. Then spell summon that monster from your extra deck. This spell summon is treated as a fusion summon. Spells, traps, and card effects cannot be activated in response to this card's activation. So like if you're playing like Elements of Hero versus Elements of Heroes, and like you want to summon a Signing Fire Wingman, you can use their Wingman as material, and then you can use that like your but it has to be the correct material though. So like say you want to summon a Cyber Twin Dragon, and like they have a Cyber Dragon, you have a Cyber Dragon, you can fusion summon from both sides. And so it was limited to one back in the day. Pretty good card. Alright, next up we have, let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go with this card. Marshmallow. This card is limited to one back in the day. It states that if your opponent attacks it, then they take 1,000 life points, and it cannot be destroyed by battle. So it will sit on the field as long as your opponent didn't find a way of destroying it. But that was limited to one back in the day. That's it. It's a good card for like it's a good show card. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I like running that card because my friends they get kind of mad back in the day. Shoot. think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I believe. Let me check my cards. I wanna. I'm gonna make this list pretty small though, because this has to be this. I'm trying to show you the top cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh that were on and off the ban list that got pretty broken. Is that it? The broken cards? Or that's I know I stored some of them away somewhere. Okay. Here's one of the broken cards. This is one of the modern cards, but it don't think it appeared on the ban list. So next card that we have is the it didn't appear off the ban list for some reason. The next card we have is the legendary Zodiac Carnate. So this card, yeah, I don't want to explain this card too much. This card, it's not limited. You can have 3 in the deck, but you still really have one in the deck. But like it pretty much gains attack for each. It gives 1,000 attack for each Zodiac piece in the graveyard. So this is a broken card, but it still has. You can play 3 of these in the deck, and they won't complain. But this part of the pretty broken card with obliterate with it. It's one of the modern cards, so it's a pretty powerful card. I don't want to go too detailed with it because I don't know. I already know what it does. And then Mathematician, this card is pretty broken. It states that when this card is normal summon, you can send a level 4 or lower monster from your deck to the graveyard. When this card is destroyed by battle and stays in the graveyard, you can draw 1 card. So like you can summon this card and you can like exceed to a level 4 if you have one level 4 in your deck, or you can leak summon it too. So yeah, this is good about this card. So you can yeah, it's a pretty broken card. So you can just link it or exceed it pretty fast if you have material on the field to exceed. That card was it's pretty broken. That card probably still broken now. I think it's limited to 1 right now. All right, next up, um, we're gonna go with. I want to make this list really good because you don't want to. Okay, now here's the last few cards I have. Okay, so final countdown. Everyone knows this does. You pay 2,000 life points in 20 turns. You win in 20 turns. So like if 20 turns go by and you pay 2,000 life points first, and 20 turns go by, you pretty much win the duel. So this card limited to 1 back in the day. Pretty powerful card. Actually it's still limited to 1 actually. Yeah, it's still limited to 1. You can't have 3 of them. Because messenger piece, you can just pretty much win the game off of messenger piece if your opponent doesn't know how to counter anything. So yeah, and then last but not least, we're gonna go with okay, limiter removal. Okay, so this card states that you double the attack of all machine type monsters. You control that both the activation and resolution of this card to the end phase. During the end phase, destroy those monsters. So it's also a quick effect spell card. So what you can do is you can activate during your battle phase, and if your opponent doesn't have any spell check bars that you know that are not going to counter your monsters, say if you have like a ancient gear golem or a cyber dragon, so that ancient gear golem has 3,000 attack, so it goes to 6,000 attack, and after that, you can pretty much go for game with this card, and then you'll attack with 6,000 or more if you have more monsters on the field, and then after that, if okay, so if you don't win the duel, then that means your monster gets destroyed. So it's a pretty good card though. This is like a going for game card. But then so if so you gotta play your card. You gotta play this card kind of smart. So like say if I attack with a cyber dragon that has 200 attack, it will double to 4,200 attack. And after that, if you don't defeat them by the end of your turn, then your cyber dragon will be destroyed. So you're taking a risk with this card. But I think it's a pretty good risk though, because it's not bad at all. But here's the card for the J3. Alright, peace out.